All right, and that was Ben Tanker with Sunday Drive.
Yeah, that's my man, Ben Tanker. That
gospel jazz.
Gospel
so nice.
Jazz. So nice. Now, that is definitely something for the mind, body, and soul.
So you can be driving. Now, you can drive a long way on that kind of music.
Oh, yeah, you can listen to that just lay back and just go on about your business.
Oh,
yeah,
that's right. That is awesome.
That is awesome. You heard that. You hear that kind of music, you can relax.
And you're right about that.
You can relax. You can definitely.
I love gospel jazz. And you are listening to LPJ, Spreaker Radio.
Mr. and Mrs. Sweet. Oh, I know you was waiting on me.
Well, we got something else I wanted to read. It is from the Jesus is Calling book. And it was for today, October 24th. And it is lie down in green pastures of peace. Learn to unwind whenever possible, resting in the presence of the shepherd. This electronic age keeps my children wired much of the time, which it does. Too tends to find me in the midst of their moments. He built us for being the need for rest. How twisted the world has become when people feel guilty about meeting this basic need. How much time and energy they waste by being always on the go rather than taking time to seek my direction for their lives. Depend on me more and more, and I will shower peace on all your paths. And in Genesis chapter 2, verse 2 and 3, it says, by the seventh day God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day he rested from all his work, and God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. So God wants us to rest on his Sabbath, which is Saturday. And he blessed that day, and we want to seek his presence on that day. And so what more better can we do than to take the time to seek our Heavenly Father, even more so on the Sabbath?
Everybody just a rush. Nobody have time to sit down and talk no more.
Nope.
Everybody text. I mean, do you know?
iPad, everything.
People do not use the phone no more. I don't see anybody talking on the phone. I see fingers moving. That's all you know. I don't think you even know what it is.
So we even talk through our fingers.
Yeah, I don't think you know what it is to sit and have a conversation no more. People in the store, they're in the line, they puffing and huffing and going on like, hurry up. I mean, hurry. You know.
I got to get on my phone. I got to get on my iPad.
We're in the time that no one have time to wait for anything no more.
We're so electronic connected that we can't even stop to have some quiet time. And that is so true. I even have, you know what, like you said, we need to take the time to fast from our electronics.
Well, just ask yourself, when is the last time you and your husband have just sit out on the porch and looked up at the moon and just talked about
just enjoyed the quiet peacefulness and
try counting the stars. Say how many stars, and whenever you just sit and held each other's hands.
That's true.
Just sit and share the night air. People don't do that no more.
No.
They don't do that. They don't do that. It's rush to bed, get up, rush to work, rush to the store.
Love you, I got to go.
Yeah. People got 2 and 3 TVs. They don't even watch TV together anymore.
In every one of the rooms, something different.
Everybody is watching. It's no more time. Now, if you know you're doing that, you're not sharing the Bible.
Quality time.
You're not sharing the Bible. You're not sharing dinner at the table. You're not sharing anything. So if you're not sharing those things, you're sure not sharing God.
That is true. So he wants us to go back to the basics.
Go back to the basics.
Of
That's
just
what
enjoying life in the way it should be.
That's right. Share God. Talk about God. Read the Bible. Share the Bible. Talk about the Word. Share the Jesus together. Pray together. You know you're not praying together. You don't do anything else together. You're not praying together. You don't have time. You take a shower, jump into bed, you better have time to say good night.
Wow.
You know, it is a shame.
We need to
get back to the what?
The basics.
The basic. They call it old school now. Well, you need to go back to
the old school.
That's what we need to go back to.
That's true.
That's right. You heard it on
LPJ.
That's right. LPJ
Spreaker Radio.
Speaker Radio with Mr.
and Mrs. Sweet Thing. And so we want you to keep it tuned in because we got more gospel music coming your way.
Right now. Relax and check it out. Let your body just lay back and absorb this nice.
So we don't want you to turn off now and get the rest. We want you to listen to this and then go
Well,
back and meditate.
you can rest and listen to this. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's
I
true.
put my feet up all the time, listen to gospel, jazz, and nice soothing
But I'm just
gospel
talking about
music.
rest as far as having the quiet time.
Oh, okay. Well, all right.
It's so very easy for us to achieve things in life and want to take the glory for it. But this song kind of passes the glory on to God for all the things that he's done. And I can really say, to God be the glory. If you feel like singing in the chorus, do it.